Hello and welcome back to Naptime Liturgy. In this series, Short and Sacred, we're walking through all 150 Psalms one by one. Our intent is not a deep dive or a study, but just a pure reading of the poetry and a few honest reflections. My hope is for a space for us to find a little rest in the middle of our days. Today, we are resting with Psalm 9. Let's read. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all of your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause and have sat on the throne giving righteous judgment. You have rebuked the nations. You have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy came to an end in everlasting ruins. Their cities you rooted out. The very memory of them has perished. But the Lord sits enthroned forever. He established his throne for justice, and he judges the world with righteousness. He judges the peoples with uprightness. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds, for he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk in the pit that they made. In the net that they hid, their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the works of their own hands. The wicked shall return to Sheol, all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. This is the word of the Lord. Initially, some of the things that are sticking out to me is that this is a psalm of thanksgiving or praise. It's just talking about how wonderful God is. Really, that judgment belongs to the Lord, which has been a theme in another psalm that we have read, where we can feel this desire to take judgment into our own hands or pass our own forms of judgment. But it's pretty clear here that he sits on his throne giving righteous judgment, because there has to be a level of, as humans, any judgment that we pass is going to be imperfect, just because of the pervasiveness of the fall. But the judgment that comes from God, that is truly righteous, that is correct. And so I think letting God have the final say in the judgment is really important to note. Even that with him being this God of justice and judgment, there's also, he's a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. So that gets to kind of the heart of love, of this kind of mercy and grace that is inherent to God, that there's judgment, but he also sees the afflicted. He sees the pain and is near to those. And it does say a little bit later, he does not forget the cry of the afflicted. And so then the psalmist is crying out to God to save him, that I may recount all your praises, that I can rejoice in your salvation. So those are like the response to this kind of graciousness. And something that's sticking out to me at the beginning of the psalm is, I will recount all of your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise of your name. So there's this level of needing to remember the good that God has done. And I feel like that's such a beautiful exercise to have in your own life when you're going through a struggle, to then think, what has God brought me through to this point in my life? And won't he do it again? Like, of course, sometimes when we're in the weeds of a struggle, it's hard to see that God has done this before and that he has not forsaken you. And so this idea of recounting the wondrous deeds, remembering, being important to humans. As we read Psalm 9 today, was there any specific word or phrase that felt like it was written to you just in this moment? Feel free to share it. in the comments below so we can meditate on it together. For me, the thing that's sticking out to me, and it's interesting because I think this is supposed to be set up as kind of a negative. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. But in a way, that's kind of comforting me. Maybe it's just the headspace I'm in today. But this idea of God reminding me that I am but a man. It's okay if I don't have it all figured out, if I don't have judgment, if I don't have, I don't know, X, Y, Z, anything that I think, should be within my control. It's like, no, this is all in God's hands. I am but a man. So of course I don't see the bigger picture. Of course I don't have the power to save myself. That would be crazy. I'm but a man. And so it's interesting that that's what's sticking out to me, because I don't necessarily think that that's written in like the positive sense. But that's kind of what my heart is taking. Thank you for joining me for this short and sacred reading, and I will meet you back here for the next psalm. Grace and peace.